Y'all, it's your girl, Dr. Nina, and yes, we're talking feminine hygiene, sex education, after sex care and cleanup, as well as STIs and those shower tips that keep us smelling good. Now, I know we love to smell like entrees and snacks, and we talk about doing all of that before sex, but very rarely do we talk about what to do after. Now, we also leave out a lot of information about what to do when we go to our well woman's exams or those annual exams, what we should be asking for in order to protect ourselves, especially if we're sexually active. Now, I have plenty of videos about feminine hygiene and vaginal health linked down below in the information section, and those go in depth. But y'all, I was raised Church of God in Christ, Kojic. Go ahead and click that like button if you can relate. Now, in my household and in my church, there wasn't a whole lot of talk about sex, but my mother was very willing to make sure that I was hooked up with a doctor, so I know what to do and where to go if I was having a problem or if I had big questions. And I could always ask her as well. So with that said, I was not raised to have sex before marriage or even promote it. But look, kiddies, a lot of us are out here having it, and we might as well, or we should be very smart and also very careful and safe when it comes to this thing. That V and that precious lamb are sacred and healthy, and we want to keep it that way. So let's go ahead and make sure that we get into this, and all the items that I mentioned can be found down below in the information section. And y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe. And also click on those notification bells so you can know when I upload on Thursdays and Sundays. Make sure you also check out my Now That's Life podcast, which is now live, and you can check it out on all your major podcasting platforms. Links to my podcast can be found down below in the information section. So let me be crystal clear with you all. We do not just take care of our vaginas or care for our bodies and pamper ourselves just because we might be having sex. We do that with or without sex in the picture because we respect ourselves and we expect others to respect us as well. Your body is your temple. Also, let's lay some foundational work. I always tell you these things, but these are some general tips that I'm going to quickly say. I won't go in depth, but just keep these in mind. We wipe only from front to back and never back to front. We cleanse our vaginas gently, either with a nice pH balanced wash or lukewarm water in our hands. I always allow my kitty to air dry after I've showered, or I take a blow dryer on a cool setting and run it past to allow all the water to fly away. This helps to cut down on bacteria. We wear cotton and breathable underwear, and we don't sit around in stinky wet workout clothes, and we certainly don't run errands in them. We wash our intimates separate and without harsh chemicals and dyes. I like to stay trimmed and groomed down there. We wash ourselves regularly. We bathe at least once a day, and we make sure that we wash our hands before and after we go to the restroom, especially if you're on your menstrual cycle. And I've already talked to you guys about the sexy side of reducing odors and smelling good all day long, including shaving, staying fresh, wearing the best in perfumes, those types of things. And that's beautiful and everything, but now we're getting into the not so cute side. Before sex ever goes down, you should be discussing sex with your partner or potential partner before everything gets hot and heavy. And make sure that you're not having sex because you feel pressured, and more because you just want to, because pressured sex does not equal wetness. You want to be open and honest. You want to ask specific questions as well. Ask, have you been tested? And then don't leave it there. Ask for what they've been tested for. Research actually shows that when a lot of people say that they're clean, it's because they haven't seen anything growing on their genitals. You can't diagnose your vagina or penis from just looking at it or looking at someone else. And when people say they've tested clean, they're usually just talking about HIV, not the other quadrillion diseases you could possibly catch. You want to ask for proof, and if there's no proof, you should be able to go to the doctor together and get the proof together. It's always easier to ask this question when you've been tested recently, and usually people that have not been tested or haven't been tested recently don't ask. Remember that there are so many illnesses out there that are not detectable by a pap smear alone. You're going to have blood tests. And while you're at it, ask them if they married and ask them if they having sex with somebody else. This is important, guys. These questions are crucial to your health health and to your future. So you want to make sure that if you are going to move forward with sex, that you're practicing safe sex. Our vaginas are very sensitive and they're acidic, and they usually sit between a pH of 3.5 to 4.5. And when you throw this off, you could possibly cause a lot of infections or vaginal odor. You could be allergic to certain lubricants and condoms as well. So you always want to keep your own stash available with ingredients that you recognize and that are safe for you, so you ensure that you're okay. And y'all always hear me talking about Lola, which has amazing products, but not just for your period, also things that help to make sex safer, and they're partnering with me to bring you guys today's video. I always ask you guys, but did you know that the FDA does not require feminine health companies to release a comprehensive list of their ingredients? Lola, on the other hand, is very transparent with what they use, and they want you to be informed. I love that I know that I'm getting 100% organic cotton-made liners, as well as pads and tampons, and I can trust the ingredients that go into Lola's products. There's no added chemicals, fragrances, or dyes. And they also carry a nice sex line of items as well. There's cleansing wipes, condoms, which are made from the best in latex, as well as lubricants, personal lubricants, and a sexual wellness kit as well. The Lola subscription is also very much customizable with the products that go into it, your absorbency levels, the types of things you need when you get them, as well as the fact that they're very discreet. So when they come to your door, don't nobody gotta know all your business, and they don't know what you get. I also love that I can change, skip, or even cancel my subscription at any time. To get 30% off your first month subscription, go to mylola.com and use my code DrNina30 to redeem the offer. Now y'all, you also want to make sure that you ask your partner about birth control methods and protection ahead of time. Whatever you decide to choose, make sure that you make a good decision so that you avoid pregnancy as well as unwanted diseases. Will it be condoms, dental dams, spermicides, any other product? If nothing at all, are you at least on birth control? I know for me, I've told you guys I've been on the NuvaRing for almost 14 years, or a little over 14 years. Not everybody is going to like the NuvaRing or anything else, and your body might not agree with it, but that's up to you to make sure that you're finding and trying out the best one for you. Also, before it goes down, while we're talking about protection, make sure that you're checking the expiration date on condoms. They do not last forever. Okay? Now, we talked about going to get tested, and we're going to talk more about that, but if you're under the sound of my voice and you have a vagina, you need to be going to the gynecologist. They offer a lot of great information on how to keep those vaginal pH levels in check, also give you yearly pap exams and look at things that are going on. They can search for things like cervical cancer, and a little treatment plan can be developed for you if you are having problems. Sexually active women are encouraged to go at least once a year for an annual pap exam, but I realize that a lot of people are finding that their insurance is only covering like once every 2 years, especially if you only have a normal pap and not an abnormal one. Look, I would still go every year because you want to make sure that your body is a-okay. And when you go to a pap test, be prepared to ask for specifics. Look at HPV. Ask the doctor if they can see anything active on your body, like active herpes or gonorrhea, chlamydia, or any symptoms that they might be seeing going on down there. Every year, and I suggest this whether you're in a committed relationship or not, because we know things happen, I ensure that I go to my doctor and I ask for what she calls a passport test. Now, this is just a fancy way of saying all blood panels. And you guys have written me and emailed me and said, my doctor says she don't do a passport test, or he don't do a passport test. We test for HIV, HSV, which is herpes simplex virus 1 and 2, that's above and below your mouth and down there, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, hepatitis, trichomoniasis, cholesterol, diabetes, anemia, white and red blood cell counts, vitamin deficiencies like vitamin B and vitamin D, many others, blood urea nitrogen, creatinine, glucose, calcium, sodium, potassium, chloride, thyroid function as well. And while there are others, many of these are not directly STIs, but they can affect the function of your body and also your odor and the way you taste and the way you smell. So baby, you want to know these things. And while some of y'all are complaining saying it costs too much to get a blood test, what costs more? Your life if you lose it, or the cost of that blood test. And I'm being real. Hopefully I snatched your edges with that. Now, it's important to make sure that you clean up properly after sex and take good care of your body, whether you're at home or you're out in the streets. So make sure that you carry your little cute little bag with you, sis. We gonna get it right. I like to ensure that I have clean towels around so you can clean up, especially if bodily fluids are involved, so you don't stain anything. Mattress protector pads are also great to keep stuff safe. I also like to drink water before and after to keep everything flushed out, but it also cuts down on scents down there. I believe in going to the restroom or peeing within 30 minutes of doing the do, especially just sitting for a little while, especially if bodily fluids are involved and they went up the precious canal. This is also a great time for unscented baby wipes or pH balanced body wipes or intimate wipes to keep around to keep yourself cleansed and him, her, or their bodily fluids off and cleansed off when you're done. If anything has happened about the mouth, and you know what I'm talking about, you want to make sure that you brush your teeth thoroughly and rinse with an alcohol-free rinse, or if you go for Listerine, do you do. I like to hop in a lukewarm shower and make sure that I've rinsed well. I wash my body like regular, but stay gentle in the middle. Like I said, there could be microscopic tears and things like that, because if you're getting it in, I also love using like a natural scent to spray on afterwards, like rose water or my sea shat scent by Pangea Wash. And I like to continue to drink water, so I continue to flush my body as well. For those of you all that ask, I still love my probiotics. I love the Refresh Pro B probiotic, which is a little bit pricey, but it could help with vaginal itch, odor, and also discharge. But then I also love my Yay Organics probiotic protein as well. It's a plant-based protein, and it gives your body essential amino acids, proteins, probiotics, and even iron, which, you know, if you're a lady and it's around that time of the month, we're losing that. It also helps with overall gut health and cellular support as well. So check that out. It's really also pretty inexpensive. Many of you also know I've recently become a big fan of yoni steaming. Like, I didn't think I would really be into it, and I saw Earth Mama Medicine doing it. I love her, and I've been doing it, and I just love it. The one I use says it has honey locust fruit, dittany root, Paris herb, and many other herbs, and it helps with specific things. And so again, in that sexual realm, it looks at a lot of specific things that it can help with or assist with. And it's recommended for painful and irregular periods, endometriosis care, yeast infections and other bacterial infections, vaginal dryness and painful intercourse, increasing cervical fluids, and relaxing the vaginal canal. And like I said, I've recently become like a fan of it. I've tried the detox pearls as well, and I told you guys that I liked it, but it's not something that I necessarily would have as a staple. I also want to recommend knowing your vaginal scent with and without sex. Now, what I mean is, if you've gone without sex for a few days, just kind of know what your scent normally is. And so if it's thrown off balance, you know, because when vaginal odor comes or increased discharge comes, it can often indicate a couple other problems. More specifically, things like yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, or other STIs and STDs. And I've left some links down below for you guys to look into that. So I want to urge you all, including the babies, if you ever get a foul, fishy odor, you need to get to the gynecologist immediately. And I urge you, because you could be doing permanent damage to yourself, so much so that it could make it so that your reproductive organs are damaged completely, or other things could happen to your body that could carry throughout your body. So if you do have that, you want to check on that, because you don't want any infections to live and cause damage that's irreversible. And last but certainly not least, I said this in my last video, there is no excuse for not going to the doctor. Even when I was in graduate school and I had very little money in undergrad, I was able to go to the Social Security office and find out ways to apply for aid. They paid for all of my well woman's exams. They paid for my STD testing. They made sure that they paid for all my birth control needs. And guys, I'm telling you, there are options out there. You have to search for them and maybe do a little digging and a little planning, but go to a neighborhood place where there are social workers where they can help you, because you can get help with these things. And so we really need to, instead of thinking about having sex, making sure that we're taking care of our bodies in order to have safe sex. That's the thing. So if you're gonna have it, you want to be safe, and you heard your Auntie Nina say that here today. Okay. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I always love having these sexual education conversations and informing and having open talks. And I hope that you'll make some comments down below. So thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, especially our young ones who really don't know or have outlets to parents or people around them that talk openly about these things. Again, thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace. Special thanks to Jason Bowie of Trinity Media Solutions for co-producing and filming today's video. His information can be found down below in the information section. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.